What up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So, I recently went out to go see the new action thriller that Dev Patel is directed and starring in the movie called Monkey Man, which this is his first time directing a feature film, and I'm a big fan of Dev Patel as an actor. He's such an underrated actor that I wish that he got an Academy Award nomination because I thought he was great in Slumdog Millionaire, Lion, and The Green Knight. He's great in any movie he's in. When I found out that he was directing a feature film, I was like, this is going to be interesting. And then I saw the trailer and it got me hooked. It felt like a little bit of a simple revenge story with a little bit of a John Wick vibe. Originally, this was supposed to be going streaming to Netflix until Jordan Peele, who was the producer of the film, saw the movie and was like, you know what? We want to put this out in the theatrical release. We want them to give them a theatrical experience, and they did. And I believe that Universal required the rights. And I don't know if it's true. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to fact check that later. So essentially, this is about an anonymous young man who unleashes a campaign of vengeance against the corrupt leaders who murdered his mother and continue to systematically victimize the poor and the powerless. Yeah, you already know that this is the revenge quest that we've seen many times before in movies like Kill Bill and John Wick. But after seeing this movie, this feels a little bit more of a Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. And yes, it does have a little bit of elements to John Wick with this whole action and visceral fight scenes that we've seen before, but even though they definitely poked fun of and referenced John Wick in the movie, which I thought it was cute and funny. But I thought after coming out of this film, I will say that this movie is badass. It is awesome. It's definitely one of the best films I've seen in 2024 because lately we haven't been getting a lot of movies that are good with quality wise. I mean, it's been very lackluster. So far, the best movie that came out this year, which is my favorite movie of the year, it is Doom Part 2. But after coming out of Monkey Man, it's not going to make it into my top 10 favorite movies of the year, but it's definitely one of the better films that I've seen in recent years. I think that the action choreography was so grounded, very visceral and bloody, and it did not held back with the brutality. And you can tell how much he'd been busting his ass off to make the fight scenes more visceral and more realistic as possible. I love how the way that he constructed the action choreography, even though that there were parts of the movie that felt shaky cam at times, but when you get to the third act finale, it really shines a lot. There is a bathroom fight scene in the movie, which is now becoming one of the best bathroom fight scenes in any action film in history, next to True Lies and Mission Impossible Fallout. It felt like that Dave Patel saw these action movies like True Lies and in Mission Impossible Fallout for the bathroom fight scenes, and Dev Patel was like, "Hold my beer," because it was more bloody and more realistic, and it's very self-aware with the logic of the fight scenes in the movie. Especially there's a scene in the trailer where you're seeing Dev Patel is so wounded and he's about to run out the window and he was about to break the glass window because you've seen a lot of action movies million times where the hero runs and gets away and jumps off the window and escapes no sweat. But when he tries it, it takes a big turn and it does not work out as you thought. And I love how self-aware this movie really was. He did it in a very subtlety way without making it too silly and ridiculous because it shows you that it's bullshit because that there's no way in hell that you could run out the window and break the glass easily and escape because it doesn't work that way in real life. But it was so good that he was able to poke fun at the obvious. Dev Patel did a really good job in his first time directing. I mean, this is really more of a character study because you're seeing a young man who is so like broken and is going through a lot of pain and he's living in an underground fight club and he's been taking beatings and for cash, and he's been going through the pain until he takes an opportunity to find the men that murdered his mom, and they take this whole revenge quest and they take the implication to like take down the corruption and help out the poor and the powerless. And I thought it worked very well. Some people may not like taking that storyline, but I thought it worked. And we're seeing throughout the movie that he's going through facing through his past from the flashback with his mom, and I thought it was well done. Even though that some of the flashbacks can be a little bit choppy and jarring at times, and it doesn't flow well. By the time you get to the end of the second act of the film, where we're seeing the more of the context of the flashback of the death of his mom, and she was murdered right in front of him, and I thought it was so brutal, and it was much more like very hard to watch at times, but I thought it was so emotionally very well executed. I got emotional at times, and he's gonna have to face his fear, facing his past in order to overcome his obstacles and taking down the man that murdered his mom and did him wrong. And I thought that the main antagonist, I felt like it should have been had a little bit more character depth. If he felt a little bit generic, but it didn't. It wasn't enough to like derail the movie for me. They do acknowledge a lot of the corrupt India politics, but I thought it worked well for the story, and I thought Dev Patel really nailed it. I mean, this is definitely his big win as a first-time director. I'm not going to say that this is a 10 out of 10 for me because there are still some things that I wish they could have handled a little bit differently, which I wish that his character had a little bit more dialogue, but it was not enough to derail the film. And I thought that the third act finale really delivered, and it was very bloody, very brutal. They never held anything back. I have a feeling that he did most of his own stunts in the movie because I could not tell that that he had a stunt double. Overall, this is a movie that I highly recommend checking out in the theater, and it's another great original action film that I wish more people go out to support. And I've said this many times before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't like the fact that people keep making this bullshit argument saying Hollywood does not make original movies anymore, which is completely untrue. There's been a lot of original movies been made. It's just that people don't bother to go out and support it, and that's why you don't see a lot of it come around these days because most movies like these big IPs like Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, and sequels and remakes get put out a lot more than originals because more people could choose to go out to support that instead. And if you want to see a damn good original action thriller that is a very simple revenge story, this is going to be the movie for you. And I encourage you to go and check it out and give it a shot. I think you're going to have a great time watching it in the theater. There's going to be some jaw-dropping moments. The violence and the art and the fight scenes are very brutal. I said this before. It's awesome. Dev Patel's performance is outstanding, and I can't wait to see what other projects he'd be willing to do as a director because I think he's a really damn good filmmaker. He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of good stuff ahead of him, and I hope that he'll do more. So, what did you think of Monkey Man? If you have you seen it? Let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? And if you haven't seen it yet, are you willing to go out and see it in the theater? Because I think that you should give it a chance. I think that this is going to be another surprise for you for an original action film like this. So I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from. If you like this video, make sure you leave it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come if you want to see more of my content. And I hope you guys stay safe and take care.